What's going on, everybody? So I told myself that I would make a video responding to all the comments, not all of them, but most of them. A lot of you have commented on my videos with questions and concerns and just all sorts of stuff. So I told myself, you know what? I need to make a video responding to a lot of these questions. So if you commented on my video, stick around because I may just mention your name. So I'm going to start with Nikki Jabs. Nikki, thanks for watching all my videos and commenting and liking. Everybody, I did a video tour of Nikki's van down in Florida. She's got a Nissan, I think it is. Very cool van, awesome setup. If you haven't seen the my tour video with Nikki, check it out. Solo female van tour, I think it called it, something like that. Anyways, she's got a channel of her own called Nikki Jabs. She's got a lot of cool stuff and good details. Check her out. So anyways, I have another person here that I notice you comment on a lot of my videos, and which means you're watching them, so I appreciate that. And her name is Raven in a Van. Raven in a Van. She also has a YouTube channel. I could be wrong, but I think she's in Wisconsin. Raven, if that's true, I am definitely planning on doing a little more exploring around Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin. I think it's a beautiful state. So maybe we should do a meetup and we could do a tour of your van. Anyway, she's got a YouTube channel as well, and she's got a lot of cool stuff. So everybody check out Raven in a Van. So, okay, Mike O. I don't know what your last name is, but Mike O asked me if I considered tapping into the aux point on the top of my tank in my van. So yeah, my last video was a 1 year update video, and a lot of people asked me that. Why didn't you use the aux point? The auxiliary point. And I considered it. I was originally going to do that. So here's what I did, and here's why I didn't use that auxiliary point. So when I was testing the flow with the generator and the fuel pump, I did it with the aux point is about, I don't know, I think it's like 15, 16 inches from the top to the bottom of the tank, which is like that, which means the fuel has to flow up and out. So I was concerned that the suction of that fuel pump on the generator wasn't going to be strong enough to pull it up and out. And what I wanted was, by tapping it in where I tapped it, which, by the way, where I tapped it in the gas tank, they designed that tank so you can tap into, that's what that part of the tank was for. So I tapped there, that way it would be gravity fed over to my generator. So all the fuel pump on the generator has to do is go up like that much. And then I also had that prime bulb, which helped a lot. So that's why I didn't use the auxiliary. Also, that means you had to drop the tank and do it that way. It was a lot easier to just take that tap and drill into the tank and do it the way I did it. By the way, again, I said it in all the other videos, I'll say it again. What I did was I drilled a hole the size of that tap, and then I threaded it, and then I used fuel-resistant gasket maker, which I put on the threads like a thread lock, as I turned it in there real tight, and that alone was sealed solid. And then I put plastic bonder around the edges of there, so it was literally, this thing was like welded on there. It's never gonna leak. People are really worried that that it was going to leak. So anyways, Mike O, that is why I didn't do the top of the tank there, because I wanted gravity fed. I also, on my tap, I have an on-off switch, so I could literally turn the fuel off. So like, for example, if I need to replace the line, because over time it's going to dry rot and I'm going to have to replace that line, so I wanted to be able to turn it off so fuel wouldn't flow, and then I could replace the line, put a new line on, turn it back on. All right, so somebody's got a YouTube channel called Back Road Gypsy and wants to hook up and camp. Dude, hit me up. Put look me up on Facebook. I'm Michael Scott. The picture is me on my boat. It's like half my face, and you see the water in the background. Hit me up, man. Let's go camp. I'm down. And then Brian Gilbertson, you commented saying that there's a $5 rubber boot on the ignition coil that I can replace instead of replacing the whole ignition coil. I didn't know that, and I'm trying to understand how that works. If that rubber boot on the ignition coil, I don't understand. So if something goes wrong with that, what is it not making connection to the spark plug? So you're telling me if I somehow made that, is that what was going on? I don't know. I'm a little confused, but if that'd be awesome. Yeah, hit me up and let me know more about that if you know more about it. Okay, Jeff Halsekamp. I hope I'm saying that right. Dude, you've commented on a lot of my stuff. Obviously, you're watching my videos. So you commented on my pro tips video, and you asked me how I handle my job, and do I tell my coworkers that I live in a van. You commented on this like 2 months ago. I'm sorry it took me this long to get back. So, okay, that's a good subject. When it comes to handling my job, so I definitely have some hiccups with my van life, because working in the film industry requires, not all the time, but a lot of time, you're working an average 12-hour day. And when it comes to the job, van life has actually made it super easy, because we're shooting in different locations all the time. So I just go close to the location, or depending on the location, I can stay at the location. And I wake up on the job. I'm right there. It's actually been nice because I don't have a commute. If we're shooting somewhere where I can't stay there, I will find a Planet Fitness or a Walmart or anywhere around the area. I kind of pre-plan it, anywhere in the area that I can park overnight and get away with it. But when it comes to the job, van life has not been hard. What has been hard is the fact that I have a dog. And before van life, I lived in an apartment. And I did have a coworker, my buddy Keith. You guys know Keith. He lived with me at the apartment. But before he lived there, I lived there by myself with a dog. And yeah, it's unfair to the dog when you're away for 12 hours a day. It sucks. A lot of times I'll have my buddy come over and let him out when I'm working. But living in a van, here's what I've done in the past. There has been times where I left him in the van and it was over 12 hours. But the only time I would do that is when I'm somewhere where I can go outside to let him out for a little bit. For example, if we're shooting at a stage like at SNA, I could go outside and let him out every few hours. I can go outside, at lunch, I could go let him out and feed him. The other challenge is temperature control. When it's really hot, you can't leave the dog in the van. Some people say, oh, well, you run the Air Max fan. Yeah, the dog is still going to be hot as hell. So there's been times where I've been on shore power while I'm working, and I was able to run the AC. I have left my dog at my apartment while I was working, but I ran the AC all day, but he's not being let out. I actually feel better about him in the van with the AC on, with my portable AC, than back at home, because he's in the air conditioning and I can let him out. So that's the big challenge, is how do you deal with the dog while you're working. So 90% of the time, what I do while I'm working, I put him up in a Rover. It's like $25-$30 a night, but it's worth it. A Rover is an app that you could have people basically babysit your dog. I've got a couple people in the Chicagoland area that do it, and it's been a blessing. So when I know I'm going to work long days and I can't get back to the van, based on what we're doing, location, whatever, I just put them up in the Rover. That's simple. It sucks because it's $30 a night, and it could be 5 nights, but at least your dog is safe. So, but again, if I'm somewhere where Jack's, I could get to the van and let him out a couple times a day, I'll do that. And it depends on the weather too. In the winter, I'm never worried about it because he's fine in the van in the winter. So, anyways, yeah. And as far as telling my coworkers, well, at first, I kept it a secret. I didn't want to tell anybody. And I felt that people thought that it would be weird. I thought it was going to hurt my, if people knew that I lived in a van. I thought, people in my business, they're very, they can be kind of judgmental. Your reputation is everything. I'm a freelancer, so I'm hired and laid off all the time. So I kind of have a reputation to upkeep. And living in a van was not something that I thought would be a good thing. However, over time, I've gotten more comfortable with it, and turns out people think it's freaking cool. Turns out there's actually other people in my business that wanted to do the same thing, and they're all like, "Yeah, man, I live in a van and I love it." So I'm very open about my lifestyle to the people I work with, and the reality of it is nobody gives a shit. That's just, nobody cares. So yeah, when it comes to coworkers, everybody knows. Everybody knows I live in a van. So anyways, yeah, Jeff, thanks for watching all my videos, and I hope I answered that question. And again, I'm sorry it took so long to get back to you. So, okay, somebody by the name of Salt Pepper asked about power in my storage unit. So I kind of lucked out. My storage unit had an outlet in it, and I've been at that storage unit for like 6-7 years now, and I've had different units around the place. Some of them have them, some of them don't. I think the ones that have them are a little more expensive. I'm paying like $200 a month now for that unit. So I think certain ones just have them, certain ones don't. I think it's just based on the power run, and the ones that have them are up in price a little bit. So I'm glad I have the outlet, because yeah, I use it all the time just for little things, Okay, one adventure at a time. What's up, guys? I met these people at El Campo. They have a YouTube, I forget their names, but they have a YouTube channel called One Adventure at a Time. And they're really cool, and I've kind of been following them, and I notice you guys comment on my videos, which means you're watching them. We got to stay in contact. I need to know where you guys are, because I'm traveling. I just got back from Oklahoma, Dallas, and we got to stay in contact. Well, we got to, do a meetup sometime. So anyways, love to see you guys. And yeah, that's all I got right now. Another thing, a lot of people have been commenting on my security and defense video. Some people say it's a great idea. Some people think it's a terrible idea. And I think I'm going to make a whole nother video about that, security and defense 2. But because there's a lot of discussion there. Basically, I have a handheld paintball gun. It's like a pistol paintball gun. It shoots about eight shots, and it shoots rubber bullets. I keep that in the van, and I have my reasons. It's a non-lethal firearm. I didn't want to have an actual gun in the van for defense, because in the state of Illinois, I just don't trust I don't trust the state of Illinois to constitute me using it in any scenario. I just don't. If I lived in Texas, maybe I probably would. But the reality of it is, when it comes to security in the van, the best security you could have is your dog. If somebody were to open my door, the odds are they're looking to steal something. So I don't know, But anyways, I'm gonna make a whole nother video about that, and we'll talk deep on that. So yeah, that's it. So if anybody has any other questions, comment on this video. I'll make another video in the near future responding to comments. So anyways, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, keep it simple, and keep it real. Take care, guys.